Hello. It has been almost a week, I believe. Right, so apologies for the random silence. I'm just gonna try to occasionally do some audio checks. So if there's some random pauses, it's because of that. I'm trying to listen back to my audio. Right, so it's impossible to speak with my gain turned off. So I believe from the last week, at least for the last two streams, hold on. For the last two streams, I have been speaking to my microphone with a 80% microphone gain when it's usually fully at 100%, and it's at 90% right now. Okay, so I turned it on to 100. I'm gonna try to listen to the difference. I mean, yeah, it's louder, but I'm just afraid of the audio sounding so compressed that it does not sound pleasant to listen to. But anyway, If we are gonna be scuffed, then I guess you just have to live with this. Now we are back to agony, and this time, as the title of the stream says, we are going to do thumbnail sized art first. Reason, this is just due to me being very doubtful on the artwork in general, and it basically the doubt got amplified by the lack of background or the lack of foresight for the background. So the point of this like thumbnail size art tonight on this stream is just to, you know, just get some feel, like the composition. We're making just a little bit of a testing and comparing, you know. Also, I am back to using my old tablet. Unfortunately, if I'm being honest, my tablet is an Android tablet, right? And I want to do art on that tablet by itself, not being hooked up to my PC and used as a graphic tablet. But because of that, a lot of like the projects on PC tends to like get untouched, because, you know, it's just one device for two separate use. So I figured that maybe it's best to just, you know, bust out the old shit again, old stuff again, and let at least for the lighter, I guess, like the lighter projects to be handled by the old tablets. But for one where I want to at least take the proportion, the everything more seriously, I would use my Android tablet. But like for example, this thumbnail art thing, I can just use my old tablet, so I don't get frustrated if, you know, the art doesn't look as good, because the point is just to you know, get some estimation, if that makes sense. So the problem that I had was not just like the whole accuracy versus proportion thing, but but also the disconnect, I guess. Oh, my FK thing is still on. Welcome to my stream. But, you know, as I said before, just now, before I interrupted myself, there's also like this disconnect with like the background. Like the last time before I deleted my entire art, unfortunately I also didn't export it, you know, before I deleted it, even though I should have, you know, so I have something to kind of compare it to. But too late. I already, like, I believe like the backup save was also gone. But the background, hold on, being, you know, like, my point is that the background that this character is supposed to be in comes from like an era that is like way too long ago. I mean, not too long ago, but, you know, 200 years are still very long, I would say. So trying to get the references, or at least the more accurate ones, would be difficult. Not to mention, again, just, you know, again, the plague that is Gen AI. So it is very difficult to try to get an actual accurate references for the Victorian era environment. Like you can you know, sling all sorts of insult towards me for constantly shitting on AI, but you know, this is one of the points as to why I don't like it. I'm trying to use history, actual history, as a reference, and you keep polluting keep trying to pollute the pool of history, so it's fucking annoying. But back to the art. I guess we would, for now, we can still use like rough estimation. I still need to figure out like perhaps the perspective. Like if Acne is supposed to be really tall, him kind of bending forward a little shouldn't cause the angle to dip as much. Like, depends, I guess, on how we want to see it. If it's supposed to be on a eye level, if it's on a eye level, usually the fireplace would still be pretty high, like I guess around here. This should be like the chimney, and then there should be the wall behind. So yeah, that's the thing. Again, this is like a very bad composition. This was my last attempt before I deleted the whole thing. So this is like the very, very flat background, and I guess you can make it work if you know you are capable of like how do I say this, capable of making them look connected. But in my case, it's usually very difficult. So there should be like another, hold on, should be another way to do this. I'm gonna try to change the view a little and the angle. So instead of like being this flat, I could also do the angle look like this. So I guess this should be like the horizon, the line, and then if the vanishing point is supposed to be here, I guess it could also work if I do this. That looks weird. I think it's supposed to be kind of like this. Yeah, sorry, for a second my brain just turned off because I do not understand 3D spaces. I would say that this is at this, you know, less flat, and this doesn't have to be like the horizon at all. I mean, it could be, but I can also move it like a bit higher. Let's see. I also have to look up the type of like maybe lounge chair. This could be the low table, the coffee table, if they use coffee table. Like again, if God knows. This is a very steep steep line, I guess. Steep perspective change, but so pull this a bit to the front level, since you know it will be a fire hazard otherwise. Then even this version is already better than like this like flat. I'm just gonna skip. Not gonna explain further. Then I think I should also oops. Okay, so this should be option 1, also version 1, and then this is option 2, then this should be option 3. Now for this third version, I would like to kind of maintain the hold on. You know, I should have made the frame a little bit more accurate. Wait a second. Oh, that's the eraser. My bad. Now I'm gonna try, I guess, on option 3. The point is just to get more correct framing. I'm trying to also kind of keep in mind, I wanna do this as more of a wallpaper artwork. I want to use this as a wallpaper, or at least allow people to use this, the Acne fans to use this as like a wallpaper. I think I could now I could also try the this is the usual dark gradient sort of thing, just like a simple gradient, but that's actually like very difficult for me nowadays because like still does not look good, at least with the saturation being too high for my liking. Like it's supposed to not take away from the main focal point too much. So at least with this one, with like the second option, oh oops, accidentally isolated the layer. Yeah, I finally know what happened, you know, just now to the canvas, instead of like freaking out like, oh no, what the hell happened? Why is the software doing this to me? Even though in reality it's, you know, usually just me not knowing what happened. Alright, so with this you can still kind of see like maybe the fireplace. This is supposed to be a vase, like the one of those like porcelain, like expensive ass vase, and then this is supposed to be kind of like maybe one of those paintings, very very huge painting, and this is supposed to be the table, very ornate, very intricate usually, and then like these chairs, I'm just not clear how it's supposed to look, and again I'm gonna have to look it up and pray there are actual archives, let's just say historical archives. And before anyone says Wikipedia, I'm pretty sure those are mainly texts, right? Like actual like, information, and again anybody can add any information, so for pictures, for you know, for that matter, might be difficult to find. I'm pretty sure they don't put that many pictures on Wikipedia, and I need visual aid. Let's just say visual aid needs some help. From what I'm planning, or at least like the very vague, very faint idea I have, would it be better if his background is more of a like one of those like abstract paints, like very very rarely I would you know, do kind of random strokes for like backgrounds. Like you can maybe see some of my older drawings like a few years ago, like random strokes, like random lines, that sort of thing. So it's kind of like an abstract painting behind him, like he is inside the abstract painting. So I guess I should at least write it down, you know, write it down. Abstract background. This is like number 3. I've been drawing it on the second layer, on the option 2 layer. Then Control E to merge. Back to naming the items. Wrong layer again. So it's basically basically a flat background due to like the object flat against the wall. So I guess that's what I would write as well. Object against the wall. Then this is the second background. I wanted to write background with perspective. Or is it okay if I just write perspective background? The stabilization is quite high in this, so I can't write too fast. So there's flat background, abstract background, perspective background, and then what I guess the fourth one would be, you know, sticking to flat. No, blank. Just basic color background, or no background at all, like this cover. Like this cover art on the right. Should I do 2 more? I'm not sure. I almost thought of an idea, but then ended the thought with you know, the opinion that it might be a bad idea, because I also thought that maybe changing the angle, but then it would turn it into a close-up again, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do half body, so I guess the last option would just be basic background. Oh, I didn't merge it. Hold on, I need to merge the frame first. Control E, then Control C and then V. Did I CV it already? CV, okay. Put it below here. There's no need for me to like try to be all neat and tidy with like the literal thumbnail art, but this is me. I am used to it. So this would be like basic. Oh my god, yeah, the stabilization is really high, so I have to write very, very slowly. I believe the last time I set this into like the outlining tool, I turned this into like an outlining pen. That's why the stabilization is so high. And or I also turned it into a writing pen. But then again, my spastic ass is also like, you know, very quick with like writing. By writing, it's usually just scribbling, but you know. So this should just be flat color, flat or gradient, you know, but you get the point. Point should be easily taken, you know. Trying to not over explain anything and everything, so oh yeah, I don't remember if I have discussed this before, but I really you know, want to give another shot to making, you know, basic English lessons, not for any particular reason other than my initial thought, you know, that I want to share what I want to share about the knowledge that I have gained before I completely lose it, as in like I completely forget about it. Because contrary to what schools in my country likes to do, not even likes, because you know it's several schools, so what they like to do is to just dumb down the English lesson syllabus, English class syllabus, down to just repeating basic grammar over and over again. And you know, when I went to college for English major, there are a whole lot more to learn, whole lot more. So since like I graduated college years ago, I've been wanting to do something of that effect, like the sharing what I want, what I've learned. The only problem is I'm very bad at like teaching and or explaining, and I again just this just extends to everything I do. I tend to immediately become like very ambitious. Like I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do my own graphics, I want to, you know, form my own kind of like a lesson planner, I guess. And I want to plan the, you know, the subject to be explained like this, like that. I ended up not doing anything. Like I started and stopped at the subjects, like the I, you, he, she, and that. Just at that point, like I started there and I stopped there because I'm not good with those like informational graphics. So combine that with my inability to explain something in a way that a normie could understand, it makes it challenging for me, and I kind of gave up at the end. It's very unfortunate. But I guess like it's been years since I last attempted that, so I guess I should try again sometime. But yeah, I guess I have to, you know, be careful with what I can and cannot do. Like after so many years, I still have not learned anything about those like graphics, like informational graphics. It's not just like charts or like pies. You know, I have to actually put pointers and boxes and bubbles that make sense. Like it's clear, but it's also like interesting to look at, and I guess not like clutter. It doesn't clutter. But yeah, I guess I should do that sometime. But then again, even my projects right now is not yet close to like, oops, not yet close to being fully done. Not even halfway done. Even poor Agni right now has to wait and be redone again. Oops. Okay. So I'm gonna try, I guess, other than option 1, I will try the 3rd and 4th options first, and then no, sorry, I should try option 2 first, and then if that still doesn't look good, I'm gonna try to do like abstract or even like basic background. I sincerely think that the flat background will not look good. Just from the sheer fact that the pose that I will be drawing him in would be too not, you know, too, I don't know, too bendy, too folly. Like the character is not standing straight, so it would not look like an anomaly artwork, you know. I guess I'm just gonna try and add some text. What am I gonna write it as? Maybe current decision, I guess. Then I'm gonna write the date. It is May 29. Okay, so I'm not misremembering. Yeah, so this is honestly very important for me. I mean, this writing part is pretty important to me because my memory tends to bleed nowadays. So I need to write things down before I forget. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, go with option 3 or 4. Yeah, so the thing with like my bleeding memory is that I will make a decision for something, right, after like quite a dilemma, and then the next day for some reason I will go back to the dilemma again, but I don't remember that I've already made a decision. It's crazy why that's a thing, but that is a thing, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look for references. Look for archives if you know possible, because Google Images are just shit. Okay, enough mentioning. Like if it's possible, I would like to never mention Gen AI again. Just that it's been shoved down our throats constantly, even though it's unnecessary. Like seriously, it's generally unnecessary. Other than that, let's see what else I could do thumbnail art of. If there's nothing else, I believe I could go back to doing self-PNG kind of stuff, like drawing myself. I don't think there is. Even like the illustration, like I'm checking my illustration folder, and the latest file has only been about acne, and then it's the commission sample. I have to check. I mean, I guess I could also do Pixiv sketches again, but I have to bust out my tablet. Oh yeah, so that's also another thing other than using my old tablet to do lighter things. It's also because I want to use Pixiv draw feature on my PC, but I don't see any time-lapse capture feature on the PC version. So if I wanna do Pixiv sketches and save the time-lapse, you know, I have to use my Android tablet, and I cannot do it on PC. It is a major pain in the ass, but I could still draw it, just, you know, there's just gonna be no time-lapse at all. Also, there's also like a kind of not stream overlay, I guess it's just like the waiting screen that I could also do, but to be honest, there's a whole other can of worms, because I'm planning to learn how to use Blender to animate either Blender or Krita. And I mean, if it's not obvious already from my previous streams, when I just started to use Krita, we are going to end up with an entire stream of me complaining this and that, like the feature, the tools. So I guess I don't want to add to that, you know, like I sorry, I already complain enough. Yep, a lot already, so I don't want to add like complaining on top of that. But for now, like the, I guess, quote-unquote ultimate decision is just to do my self-PNG. That's gonna be the part 2 of this stream. But I'm not gonna change the title or the descriptions. I'll do it after the stream, but right now I'm not gonna change anything. Thumbnail art. Alright, so pull up my OBS for a second. Hold on. Then, ta-da! It is a mess. There's also like a style mismatch, because this looks a bit too realistic, but we can fix that. But for now, at least like right now, I'm gonna focus on other stuff. I think I should do it a bit more roundish, puffy, full. I don't know the right term for it. If I'm gonna do it like this, then I'm gonna have to change the shirt. If I'm supposed to be kinda leaning one leg on the other, then I should probably do it like this. I guess I should also simplify the footsie. To be honest, I usually like go for socks. I would not draw bare fit because one, there are a lot of freaks, and two, I don't want to model after my actual feet because again there are a lot of freaks. Also because I'm still a bit confused and a bit uncertain on what kind of style I should do for like their digits, for my digits, for my virtual digits. By digits I mean like fingers and toes. That's digits is another word for that, you know. I forgot that, you know, some people may not know that, yet I kept repeating it. It's like kind of like constantly repeating an inside joke, as if people who are not part of your friend group would know. I didn't turn off the AFK icon again. My god. You know, thank the heavens. Thank the heavens and hells. I don't post time lapse from stream footage anymore because she's the amount of like cats I have to do because I just cannot stop. I just cannot stop forgetting. So now I have to change this because logically speaking the shirt will be pressed up. No, sorry, the leg will be pressed up against the body, so this is what I have to do. I think I made the legs a bit too thick. My thighs are not this thick. I mean, I guess, you know, it's fine if I do that because he's supposed to be quote unquote the idealized version, but again, this already does not look like me, so I don't have to add more. I don't have to add like more, I guess, you know, what would be the right term for that? Completely different features. I am unfortunately also still a bit sleep deprived, so I cannot form a proper sentence with, you know, without even stuttering and stumbling and trying to fix my speech while also making it worse. I think I can try to color it later using like those colorize feature, or if not, I can just, you know, manually fill the layers one by one again. That's usually how I do things anyway, for simplicity. And by simplicity I mean the complete opposite, because, you know, more often than not, softwares like Clip Studio Paint still cannot give the exact results that I want, so I usually have to manually do things anyway. Plus, the colorize feature, or like the shading assist, is usually for comics first and foremost, or webtoons for like the colorized one, but it is not for complex, borderline abstract artwork, or like artwork with non-existent outlines. God. I tried it before, but the colors are quite a joke. I think I'm gonna have to round it. So instead of like the usual kind of like this, a bit sharp. I have to do it kind of like that. I should probably be careful with how I draw the shapes. Like the Sunday, no Sunday, I did not stream on Sunday, the Saturday stream, last Saturday. So my stream got like suspended live because of the copyright claim. That was music related. I do not want to be suspended again for possibly being mistaken for drawing obscene stuff. But for the music thing, I mean, to me it was kind of bullshit, because all the music I use are, at least for now, are from the same artist, one, and second, oh fuck, I accidentally merged the layer. So first, the music I use are from the same artist, and second, the license is under the common Creative Commons, the CC license. And the one claiming are, you know, not unrelated at all to the actual artist. Like the claimant, like blank claimed this on behalf of blank. The artist on the on behalf part has nothing to do with like the artist, and that was the reason I got cut off live. It was, honestly, it was stupid, because I tried to look up the name of the music company that struck my stream. It was automatic, I know that. My point is, you know, apparently it's a thing for that specific company to be striking everyone and everywhere and everything. And yeah, so from what I could gather, they've been doing that for years. Over 11 years ago as well. Like seriously, 11 years old Reddit post talked about that exact company and their allegedly, no, it's not alleged, it's actually fraudulent copyright claims. And the music I used is from Purrple Cat, and I usually put it on my stream's description. Yet you're telling me the claimant, that is Lo-Fi Girl, has anything to do with Purrple Cat? At this point, I don't know anymore. All I know is that the music company is under Sony, and Sony sucks, therefore that company also sucks. Sorry, I'm going on a half I don't know, like a delirious rambling or ranting, because you know, at the end of the day, it is quite annoying that you cannot fight this kind of like claims half the time, especially if the claims requires you to like avoid using YouTube's official like their actual tools. So yeah, it's just very scummy, which is why I talked about it in the first place. If it's not scummy, if it's like by mistake, I would not be this whiny about it, let's just say. Like, I have been copyright claimed a few times before. One was because I forgot to put the song. Like, I think I missed a few songs, so some of them got claimed. That is, you know, not their not them being an asshole or like scummy or anything. That was just purely my mistake because I forgot. But there was also another like claim on behalf of a musical artist that when I checked their the music that was very basically that I apparently ripped off of, or I used without permission, the motherfucker just made a song using one of Purrple Cat's soundtrack, and they did not change some of the instrumental part, so it's just purely just instrumental, no lyrics, and that's the part that got my live stream claimed, as if it's my fault that the artist took the entire song, rap on some parts of the song, and then leave it just the instrumental, and that's the exact part that my stream got claimed. That was also kind of bullshit, but they kind of released the claim pretty quickly. But this lo-fi girl thing, oh my god, so fucking annoying. Like, we get it, you want money, but I need to calm myself down. Should not be putting this much energy into literal scum of the earth that is corpos. Is it better if I just erase and redraw on top of like the same, not on top, on the same layer, or I just do a new layer and then draw on top of that? I think I'm confusing myself. Hold on. But I meant doing this, like adding a new layer and just trace it again. Trace but not trace, because I need to make it rounder, more chibi. The last time I streamed was doing like some sketches for this exact what is it? I cannot find words. I cannot find the right words tonight. But yeah, for the Saturday stream I was trying to do sketches for the chibi styles to draw myself, and this was the, I guess, quote-unquote finalized. I guess I can try to make the stream public again, but the audio was also unfortunately shit that stream. So even without the copyright claim, I'm not sure if I wanted to keep that public, to be honest. but if it was public, you can see the other sketches as well. And you could see also that I'm very bad at chibi style, cutesy style. Okay, I need to remember to make this round. Make it round, make it small. Then I think the outline is a bit too thin, but then again it's kind of necessary, so it the fingers doesn't my fingers doesn't end up looking too much of a blob, like looking like you got no fingers, or like what style is it? I forgot. Whose style was it? For chibi style, where they basically draw like the general shape of a hand and then just do like one line, 3 lines to kind of indicate, you know, there are 4 fingers, or sometimes 2 lines for the typical cartoon 4-finger hand for that effect. I could also do that, but it's too late now. So yeah, for these whole overlapping lines, it's just so when I apply colors, it doesn't bleed onto the entire canvas. So for example, let's try. Okay, the bangs have, oh yeah, okay, so the bangs have a quote-unquote leak, like unclosed line. So what I'm trying to do, I'll just try to put in some colors. Try to do fill in this. Yeah, so when I do this, now the lines don't look as crowded. I mean, it's just for the sake of convenience. Like you know, just like that one saying in my language, in Indonesian, like you have to suffer now just to kind of relax later. Okay, where's my mouse? So for now, I need to check what else I need to close. I need to close the gap for the outlines before I start coloring. I think for the right arm, for my mini right arm, I think I need to separate it again. Yeah, so this would be R for right, and then no, hand. I almost right arm again. Right hand, right lower arm. Lower the opacity, then try to just do quick lining. I also have to kind of give some access, just so the arm doesn't look disconnected later if I try to animate it. I also really want to try the one of those open source animation software. It's supposed to be similar to, I guess, Spine, or at least a rigging software. Sorry, animation software with rigging and bones and mesh, kind of like Live 2D cubism. So I'm gonna have to try it later. Jesus Christ, I cannot do the strokes. Yeah, so this has been like the problem for me with my old tablet for the longest time. I just cannot pull a clean stroke for some reason. I'm just really bad with straight lines, or like quote-unquote confident lines in general, so trying to pull a straight lines or like perfectly curved lines are also a challenge. I was supposed to say it's also a challenge, but just ignore it. Also ignore the fact that I mentioned it after going silent for like a solid 3 seconds. Also don't count how many seconds that I actually went silent for. Alright, I'm gonna clean up the arm. I guess also try to add a bit of an access. I don't need to add an elbow. I think I can start with the body. Oops. New layer. Okay, that's one. Then that's 2. Oops. Okay. I'm gonna leave some for the colorize feature, but for this few, I guess, big ones, I will manually fill it first. And also there is usually kind of a problem when you fill the colors manually, because I don't know, I don't think it's visible on stream, but you have to at least shrink the selection just a little bit. Like for example, shrink it for like 0.2 millimeters, and then boop, nope, wrong layer. Boop, nope, again wrong layer. And then there shouldn't be any like leaked colors. It's usually the case if you just select invert and then put colors, like I did a few times just moments ago. But that can be fixed. That usually can be fixed. And by fix I mean like just delete the colors and try again. Okay, remember to shrink and then apply color. God damn, I became a lot more tan. I mean, it would be more accurate to the younger me, I guess, like the child me. Like current adult me is a lot lighter, but it just got that trademark Chinese tint, yellow tint to it. Alright, what else? Oh yeah. Okay, hold on a second. I should be progressing forward, but I just found something. Oh, right. Wow. Hold on. That's a bit tricky. Where did I paste it? Oh. Can I just type it as like extra? That's like the easiest. I'll probably forgot. I would have forgotten in 5 minutes, but it's okay. I think it's just basically like this. I think I'm gonna leave the colorized thing to the arm. I think that's basically it. Oops. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, I think I've been streaming for 2 hours already. Holy shit. Has it been 2 hours? No, it has not. Sorry. That was my stream preview thing. It says 2 hours for some reason. It's only been 1 hour. Relax. Wow, it feels weird to do things rather quickly. I guess I'll just keep fixing up the outlines. There's still an object that I should draw. Anyway, yeah. Okay. But I think this should be in front of the next. Where should I put? I guess that works. Pillow without the W. I'm gonna go back to the markers. The flat marker is actually really nice to use. It may look a bit scuffed, but I don't know, it actually has like what is it? How do I explain this? It actually feels nice for the thickness to change around like this. Like obviously it's based on the angle, but it's much better than the usual pens, usual tools pen pressure. Because most of the time, at least for my attempts at like making use of the pressure, they would look, you know, they wouldn't look good at all. They would just look like random lines with like knots in the middles or the other way around. Like any attempt to make them look like they are weighted just look like shit. Now again, it could just be a me problem. It could be my pressure settings. But half the time it's just the, you know, the pen tool itself. that should work. I guess it should just be brought back again. I don't know. No, I think it should still be above the hair, but I should fix this part. It would not make sense for the pillow to clip through the arm like that. Oops. Right, this gap is not fully closed. Mamma mia. Sorry, that was racist. Is it racist? I don't know. I'll fix this part as well. I mean, I don't think just saying Mamma Mia is racist, but maybe if I chain it with like my mind is not going to a good place. If I chain it to like other, you know, non-Italian brands with like a very over-exaggerated Italian accent, that would be racist. I did it on the color outline. No, the color layer again. How about that? I literally didn't name the other layers, but just for this one, I'm gonna have to name it. Yeah, so I guess it would be like this. I am very... God, why am I so sleepy? I think, yeah, I know I was like mistaking my stream time to 2 hours, but I guess I do have to stop after this, just because I am genuinely getting tired physically, by the way, not like, oh, I'm getting sick of this, I'm gonna throw my tablet out the window. No, I'm just physically tired. Like doing kind of like this experimenting thing will never be tiring. Like I could never get sick of this. This is fun. This is genuinely very fun. And I guess, quote unquote, this is work as well. Like I do want to do this for, hold on. So what was I saying? I do want to use this avatar later for other stuff. So it's kind of like a win-win, you know. I'm learning new stuff, discovering my chibi style, while also doing more practice with weighted outlines, taking things seriously. It's fun. I also should probably find some time to actually finish my still unfinished coloring book. I bought that in high school and still have not finished it. I don't know if I should do that live though. The setup would be quite a pain. Oops. I should do the marker again. I guess when it comes to kind of doing pressure, doing the pressure thing, the weighted line thing, I could treat it like it's a cursive writing exercise, but this is not neither a cursive or a writing exercise. So it's kind of difficult to treat it like that. Plus, I'm not wearing my gloves, so my dry ass hands is like sticking. Sorry, that's kind of like an oxymoron, isn't it? Like it's supposed to, if it's dry, it's supposed to kind of slide across the tablet, but it's not. It's kind of like dragging and then randomly pull to other side of the tablet. It's like if drags and then jumps and then drags, that sort of thing. But my hand is dry. My palm is not sweaty. Nor is the side of my hand. Like it's generally dry, but it's like chafing. Is it the word? Chafing? But yeah, back to the cursive exercise. Should probably find another term. At the end of the day, a lot of things are dependent on your mindset. When sorry, I didn't mean to have my own thoughts cut off there, but when people were talking about manifesting, the non-extreme version of that is usually just putting your mind to it. Like it's just another variant of that, putting your mind into working hard to get what you want. Like a literal mindset change. That's what the manifesting thing is supposed to be. It's not like literally trying to do a magic trick and then a Chanel bag appears in front of you. It's not that sort of thing. It's kind of a mindset thing. You gotta believe. But I still cannot find the right self-encouragement, I guess. Like what words would be accurate or would be more motivating to try and make a better attempt at outlining and doing lining work in general. think this is enough. Well, maybe I could change the eyes a little. Also, sorry if you hear me yawning. I try to kind of get away from the mic, but if you still hear it, I apologize. I don't have to zoom in that much. Whenever if I should bring my brows to the most front, or at least above my bangs, just because I naturally have like an RBF, a resting bitch face, and you know, with the colors the brows are kinda blocked. I'll figure it out later, but I think this is all I have for tonight's stream. I should be able to proceed with the Acne fan art again tomorrow. Also, I'll probably stream a bit faster again, like around an hour earlier. But yeah, I can feel the fatigue kicking in, and I think I need to lay down. Thank you again for thank you again. This is my first time. Thank you, but anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Whether you're watching it live now or the VOD later, either way, appreciate you. But I have to go, so see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.